All right, more justice. More justice. More justice. Not bad. I'm going to give you another chance in a few minutes, though, to see how you do. It's actually better than I was expecting. My Protestant American father dropped out of the University of Rochester with a month to go before graduation to join the Army during World War II. My Luxembourg Catholic mother was kicked out of not one but two high schools by the Nazis. The first time, an incident involving gym shorts and a portrait of Hitler. The second one because she refused to join Hitler Youth. From both of them, I got a deep, visceral understanding that it's necessary to work for, to sacrifice for, and sometimes to fight for both justice and peace building. They spent the last 2 decades living in Charlottesville, Virginia, which has been my home since 1973. Now, they died before 2017. The events of August 11th and 12th, 2017, when we had the Nazis and the Klan and the chants of Jews shall not replace us, and the violence. I don't know what their response would have been exactly, but I do know that I don't think they would have said we need more neutrality. Now we know the role that neutrality has played in the development of our field and its importance. And even though there's been resistance, and I was trained by Jim Lowy, who always had brought to understanding that we always have an impact no matter what we do. And I personally prefer the language of impartiality and of independence. And also, meanings of terms change over time. If you say neutrality to a lot of people today, it means to them, you don't care for me. You don't care about right or wrong. Now, who wants to be part of a field, part of a movement that sends that message to the field? We can do better. We must do better. We live at a time and in a country where either we're willing to stand up for justice, for equity, or we are complicit in allowing those who are promoting injustice and inequity in having their way. Ibram Kendi has come out with a new book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. He makes it very clear. Either you are willing to work against racism, or you are actually willing to support and benefit from racism. We live in a country that has had enduring impacts of white supremacy in so many areas, in housing, in safety, criminal justice, in health, in education, employment. Either we are willing to understand and work to address those disparities, or we are complicit in allowing them to occur. Either we stand up for social justice, or we let injustice last. Either we stand up for human rights, or we let those who are taking human rights away have their way. Which is why this mediator, who actually loves the work I do, who values so much the work of so many colleagues, who knows the value, has seen the miraculous sometimes in conflict transformation, who knows that our communities have to have a capacity to bring people together, also finds myself in the streets chanting, no justice, no peace, and working as an advocate, a visible advocate, for human rights and social justice and equity in my community. I do not think it has to be a choice. I do not think that we need to privilege peace building over social justice. In my own community, I think I have more credibility with many advocates because they've seen me doing work such as starting the University and Community Action for Racial Equity, helping my university understand and address their long-standing impacts of slavery and segregation and discrimination that continue today, and many authorities who know that I'm a peacemaker give me more credibility when I do speak out for social justice. So how do we do this? How do we incorporate this equity lens, social justice lens, into our work, but also as advocates? One thing we can do is actually to be willing to take on that lens, to see how race, gender identity, sexual orientation, class, see the oppressions that occur throughout our communities. We can take on work that actually directly addresses those as a third party. We can bring to the attention of the conveners and the parties those issues. My own Institute for Engagement and Negotiation has now labeled our work as equitable collaboration, forefronting the idea that we are going to work in a way that promotes equity. We can help people who do not look like me get recognition, who are doing work, get recognition, visibility within our field. We can work with social justice organizations, social change organizations who need our help in dealing with the conflicts that they have too. Now, I know that many of you actually do already incorporate this in your work that you're doing, incorporate these lenses and these concerns. I think it may be harder for us to also play a visible role as advocates. I know that I personally am much more comfortable in the classroom than in front of a governing body. I'm more comfortable in the classroom or in front of a small group than actually being in the streets. But my comfort is not going to get us the community and the nation that we need. Now, we also don't have to be doing this all the time. So I developed this pyramid for myself, basically. So I'm finding myself being burned out or wondering, how in the world am I going to be able to continue to do everything? So looking at, and this is, of course, because of my own, this is for me, my own privileges that I have, my own station in life and everything, and looking at the self-care in particular that's important there. And also, you might be able to see there that there's some element of fun in there too. I'm also, as a mediator, I actually believe in giving other voices a view. So I'm going to ask you in a minute to welcome a guest to this table. To do that for last. Thank you, Jen. And so I'm hoping you will give a hand to the King of Neutrality. You say neutrality shouldn't be taught. It's seen its last day. You claim that white supremacy needs to be fought every way. Am I so bad? Remember, we made an arrangement that brings you your pay. You'll be glad to forget social justice and simply let me have my way. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember all you got from me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Social justice, what a bore. Right from wrong is such a chore. You don't want less, you want more. And remember what you get from all the privilege that you so adore. Everybody, da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. You say the world's in trouble and you can't go on with your poor babies. You'll be the one in trouble when I'm gone. So please, it's time to embrace me. You know you can't erase me. I know you really love me. Give up this quest for equity forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back. Come to me. Let me sit you upon my knee. You'll be back in my bed. Get this justice thing out of your head. Can't you see that you will lose? It really is your time to choose. Social justice doesn't pay. All you really need to do is look away. Ba 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 da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 All right, one more time. This time, more justice. More justice. More justice. Thank you.